Teal. Number 8, Courtney Zudem. Number 9, Alex Christian. Number 11, Lily Logan. Number 17, Elise Sween. Number 18, Gabriella Stevens. Number 32, Layla Nick. Number 33, Delilah Tate. Number 38, Dylan Collins. And their goalie, number 93, Gianni Parrish. They are led by their head coach, Jane Kohler. Welcome, Orono, to Maple Grove. We'd also like to thank the officiating crew tonight, Jim Engelking, Scott Munoz, and Daniel McKay. Your Varsity Girls team for Clemson. Number 1, Lily Iverson. Number 2, Jade Isaacson. Number 7, Sosie Van Ruff. Number 9, Emma Roach. Number 16, Hadley. Number 22, Taylor Super. Number 24, Kylie Sandberg. Number 39, Riley Dunn. And your goalie, number 52, the one and only, Kiki Iverson. Your team is led by head coach Grace Ford and assistant coaches Paige Nosco, Sydney Liddell, Karen Gutzweiler, and Gabrielle Kramer. Welcome your Crimson Lacrosse team to the field. Tonight's game is sponsored by Morgan's Message, a non-profit message towards mental health. Maple Grove Girls Lacrosse is dedicating today's game to the life and legacy of Morgan Rogers, a former Duke University student athlete who died tragically in July 2019 after battling mental health struggles. Although Morgan's life was cut way too short, her legacy of unconditional love remains. Morgan's Message was created by her family and former teammates with the mission to eliminate the stigma surrounding mental health, normalize the conversations about mental health, and to ensure that mental health is treated equally to physical health for all student athletes. For more information on Morgan's life and legacy and how you can help those with mental health struggles, please visit morgansmessage.org. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, please stand, remove your hats for a moment of silence in remembrance of Morgan Rogers. Thank you. Now remain standing if able. Remove your caps for the national anthem. And now, let us get ready for the opening play.
Welcome to Maple Grove Athletic Complex here at Maple Grove High School, where the Maple Grove Crimson are here tonight on a rainy, cold, windy Friday evening to take on the Orono Spartans. Both teams 8-2 coming in today's contest. Big game here. Expect a great duel on a Friday night for girls lacrosse. Maple Grove doing their pregame cheer before they head out to the field. Orono doing the same. They're gathered in a circle. We'll have the draw at the Maple Grove logo at midfield in just a moment to get this one kicked off. Referees are out there to check the nets. Here come the ladies heading out to their positions. Maple Grove wearing their white jerseys trimmed out in crimson. They're going to be going from our right to left in quarter number one. Visiting Orono wearing their away jerseys. They're red trimmed out with the white numbers. Riley Dunn, number 39, she heads to the face-off circle. She'll take the draw. Maple Grove coming off a 15-2 victory over Centennial in their last contest. We'll see if they can't repeat that. They're really going to need some speed here. As Orono, known for their speed on the field, we'll see if Maple Grove can't keep up with them here. And referee is going to check both goaltenders and get this one started. They'll stick their sticks together. Referee puts the ball between the baskets. Riley Dunn positions herself. Referee backs out, blows the whistle, and here we go. This one is underway. Ball is on the turf, and it's picked up by Orono. Spartans are going to head down the near side of the field, cross the 40. Fake pass there, little turn, spin to her left. That's number 38 for the Spartans, Dylan Collins. She's going to feed it down low. Shadowed there by Sandberg. Sandberg's going to force behind the net. Orono's going to set up shop. That's Bowerly over there protecting the far side of the post. Sandberg on the near side. Orono on a one-on-one isolation play. Good play by Sandberg. Pushes her out and forces her back down low. Emma Roach comes all the way around. They try to get in, and they get a quick goal over the left-hand shoulder of Kiki Iverson, and Orono draws first blood on the scoreboard, and they take a 1-0 lead early here in quarter number one with 11:25. You can see the replay all the way from behind the net, got around the outside defender's left shoulder, that's Emma Roach, and was able to get a slingshot past Kiki Iverson, and it's 1-0 lead for Orono. We talk about this all the time. Possession's so important off the draw here, especially in girls lacrosse. Not a lot of contacts, and once you have it, unless there's some sort of turnover and drop ball, you can maintain possession for quite a while. Another draw goes in, and that's going to be picked up by Van Wyk. Van Wyk tries to get it to Dunn. Dunn had trouble handling that one, drops it down onto the turf, and here come the Spartans. They feed it straight ahead, but it's picked up by Johnson. Johnson gets stick checked and knocked out of her stick, but whistle and illegal stick contact, so Johnson will remain with the ball, and she'll get a free start. She pitches it over to Sandberg. Sandberg's going to run up the middle of the field, feeds it up to Kudla. Kudla's got some speed across the 50. She heads over to the far side, hash marks. Now is going to veer back in towards the hash marks, loses it, but they're going to call a little stick contact there and give the ball back to Kudla for the free start in between the 30 and 20-yard line. To the middle of the field is Dunn. She's number 39. She's got it at the top of the arc. Switches spots with Isaacson. Now they switch back. Isaacson sets the pick, goes in, leaves it for Dunn to get around, and now it's Van Wyk. Van Wyk at the top of the arc. She'll hold it up there. Look for some cutters coming across. They like to do the double cut through the middle there. They'll send one just like that. There goes Sukup through the middle, or that's Walseth actually goes through the middle, and Van Wyk goes back out to the arc, feeds it into Dunn, picked off and turned over by the Orono Spartans. They're going to fling it up the far side of the field out of the basket, but picked up off the turf are the Spartans, and now they're going to head towards the middle of the hash. They come to the middle of the arc. They feed it down low. Nice stick work there by Johnson to get her basket in front of the ball, but back to Orono. Both teams having a little trouble hanging on to the passes. I don't know if it's a little bit of wind factor out there or a little bit of wet ball, but nonetheless, both teams having a little bit of trouble hanging on and keeping it in their basket. Now it's Orono. They're going to ring it around the top of the circles and feed it over to the center. They cut right, go left. They try to bring it in, converged on by 4 Maple Grove defenders. And we're going to get a whistle here for an illegal play violation for Maple Grove, which will give a free start to number 38, Collins, for the Spartans. She's on the 12-meter mark. Kiki Iverson in the net. She brings it forward, tries to fling it up over the net, picked up by Sandberg off of the missed shot, and Sandberg has it. She takes a bump, whistle blows, but she keeps going. Gets it up the field to Van Wyk. Van Wyk's got some wheels. She cuts across the 50. Now she's down the far side of the field, near side of the field, in front of the Orono bench. Takes a cross check, and Van Wyk's going to keep control of it with the free start. She heads towards the net. They're going to set up here at the top of the arc. She gets around to the left, tried to feed it into the center right in front of the goal crease. Got bounced off her stick. Now has control over it on the far side of the field at the 10-yard line. Down low are the Crimson. Back behind the net, that's Iverson. Lily Iverson. She's going to take a few stutter steps, go to her right, flicks one in, and bounces it a 5-hole past the goaltender and puts Maple Grove on the board and ties this one up 1-1. That's Iverson with her first goal tonight. And we're going to get a substitution here. Number 47, Ava Kennedy, is going to replace number 17, Livia Walseth. Walseth will come out. Kennedy will go in. Dunn back to the draw circle, midfield on the Maple Grove logo. 8:15 left to go in quarter number 1, and we have a 1-1 game. Dunn's going to position in the draw. Referee's going to back out, blows the whistle. Ball up, down on the turf. Picked up by the Spartans. Converged on. Both Maple Grove players take a swing at the stick. Finally, Abel knocked out by Van Wyk. Ball's on the turf, and after it is Johnson. Johnson hustles over there, but it's picked up by number 32, Layla Nick of the Spartans, and she'll slow it down and set up shop right outside the upper arc near side of the field. She's at the 20-yard line. Looks like a little ISO play here. 32 fakes left, goes right. Pushed out. Quick whistle there by the referee as Johnson got the stick a little bit too horizontal and gave her a cross check, so she'll get a free start from the 12-meter mark. But weird angle, so probably going to have to pass here as Sandberg positions herself to cut her off. She gets in, though, past Sandberg, and is able to throw one down past Iverson for a 2-1 Orono lead and a goal for the Spartans. Maple Grove had the tough angle for her to go in, but just didn't get there in time to cut her off before she was able to dip her shoulder down and get to the middle right in front of the goal crease and just throw one low past Iverson. Behind the net view, you can see that. Replay brought to you by Wellhouse Chiropractic. They're our in-game sponsor for tonight's matchup against the Orono Spartans. All replays tonight brought to you by Wellhouse Chiropractic. Draw up in the air. Spartans are 3 for 4 on the draws. 75% for you math wizards out there. And they're going to set up outside the arc. Slow it down. They go position to position, bring it to the near side of the field. That's number 11, Lily Logan. She feeds it down low. Fakes going behind the net. They try to get by Sandberg. Good defense there. Good help by Kennedy. And Kennedy couldn't slide over quick enough to get back to her player. Nice pass there by the Spartans to give it to the far side post and past Iverson for a 2-goal lead. 3-1 Orono Spartans over your Maple Grove Crimson. That was number 9, Christensen, on the assist. On the goal, number 21, Carpenter. Maple Grove going to try a little bit different strategy. They're going to throw Kudla in the draw circle, see if she can't change things up a bit. 2 players on the outside circle. You know they can't go in that yellow space until the ball has been lifted up in the air, and there it goes, high up picked up off the turf, bounces, and they're going to give that one to Maple Grove. Dunn's going to pick it up. She's right outside the 50, feeds it to Kudla. Kudla's going to run down the middle of the field, almost caught from behind. Kudla's going to bring it to the top arc, and she'll go to her right. She dips her shoulder down low, tries to get around the right-hand side, feeds it over to Sukup, who was cutting through the goal crease, got a shot off, but looked like she might have got hit in the head too. No whistle from the referee, went wide of the goal, but Maple Grove back behind the net to pick it up, and now it's Iverson. Iverson to Van Wyk. Van Wyk on the near side by the 10-yard marker. Van Wyk's going to take a couple of steps, fakes right, goes left, back to her right, tries to get around Orono and does, and feeds it down low, and Van Wyk with a nice little shot and brings the Crimson within one. 3-2, Orono lead over the Crimson, but a goal on Van Wyk. That's her first of the night. Goals by Iverson and Van Wyk brings the Crimson within one with 6:16 left to go in quarter number one. Van Wyk with a couple of nice fakes. She goes left, right, and watch the replay here. She's able to dip down, get around the defender. Dunn tries to create a little block, but Van Wyk's in there and goes left-hand side low and beats her on the stick side. Kudla back to the draw. All the way to the far side, one hop pickup by number 16 of the Spartans. That's Reagan. Whistle blows, free start, no stop there by the Spartans. They just continue on. They feed it down to the near side. Near side post, shadowed by Sandberg. Isolation play. Sandberg forces her back to the outside, feeds it up top. That's 32. Layla Nick had it. Little trouble for the Spartans, but nobody there for Maple Grove, so no foul. Little give and go here. They try to converge on the middle, and nice job by the defense for your Crimson. Spartans have it up top. They set the pick, try to go low, spin to the right, feed it in, center shot, saved by Iverson, deflects to the outside, and the rebound is picked up by Orono. Here comes the cutter. They feed it again. Nice defense there by Emma Roach. She was able to get the stick in there, not allow the shot off, and it went way up over the head of Iverson, but the Spartans were back there to pick it up, and they're going to continue. They try and come around the near side. They feed it back down low. Roach is right there. She's got to get around that circle. Converge down. Cutter comes in, and it's picked off by Dunn. Turnover, Maple Grove. They're going to head upfield. Center, Dunn still has it. Looks at a stick check from behind. Missed on that one. Van Wyk gets it. Van Wyk to Isaacson. Isaacson's going to hustle down the middle of the field. She gets converged down by two defenders, so backed up. Feeds it down low. Kudla had the open net as the goaltender thought she was going to miss the ball but couldn't get the shot off. Finally did, and it went wide right of the goaltender. Sukup's back there to pick that free ball up. She'll start it behind the net. She gets it to Van Wyk on the near side. Van Wyk has it. She'll head towards the hash marks. Now back to her left. Van Wyk forced back out to the top of the arc. Feeds it down low to Kudla. Kudla with a flinger. That went wide left of the goaltender. Kudla's got some good speed on that shot. Sidearmed it, but just wide left of the goaltender. Maple Grove still in possession. That's Iverson. Lily behind the net. Talks to Dunn. They set up a play. Iverson comes around. She's going to dip her shoulder down and goes up high and scores to tie this one up 3-3. Lily Iverson with her second goal of the night to tie things up with 4 minutes left to go in quarter number one. Nice play by Iverson. You can see she faked the shot on the near side post, brought it out to about 8 feet and was able to throw it left upper corner. Goaltender's been used to the low shots. First 2 goals were scored low, so not sure if she was prepared for that, but watch Iverson come around and go up high past the goaltender on the stick side. Great job by Iverson. Good vision to see that one through. Well, the draw setup and change has really changed things up for the Crimson. Kudla has won the last 3 draws in Maple Grove, now tied with 4 minutes left to go in quarter number one. Although the Spartans take possession off of this draw. head up to the top. They're close to the 30-yard mark. Now with some speed, tries to run down the middle of the field. Couldn't get through everybody. Shot goes wide, but it's picked up by Orono. Nice defensive play there. Sandberg with a little hip check bump. Orono picks up the loose ball, and they're going to set up shop again at the top of the arc. Maple Grove with some good defense, able to converge when Orono tries to shoot it down the middle. Orono's got a little bit of speed, so they really try to run through the players, and there's a whistle before the goal, so no goal, but they'll get a free start at the 12-meter mark. Iverson sets up. She'll look to save this one. They're going to try and get it in to the middle. Shot goes past Iverson. She shakes her head as she would like that one back, just wide left of her stick, and went through the net. Watch the replay here. About 3 shots in for Orono, 3 steps in for the Orono. They get to the 8-meter mark, flings it up high, and goes over the right-hand shoulder of Iverson for a 4-3 Orono lead with 3:10 left to go in quarter number 1. Behind the net view from Wellhouse Chiropractic, bringing it right to you. You can see just Iverson couldn't get her stick up there in time to deflect that one, and now the Crimson are down by 1. Kudla back to the draw. Up in the air, right to Orono. 1 hop. Orono has possession. That was number 2, Paulson. Feeds it to number 17, Sween. Sween behind the net. Gets it to Christian. Christian and Sween switch spots. Now it's Sandberg on the isolation. Forces her back behind the net. Up top is Logan. They ring it around the top of the circle and all the way to the far side. Now they're going to come back. A couple of cutters go through the crease for Orono. They try to set the pick, forced to the right. Shot went off, but way high and out of bounds. But Orono has the ball back. Cutting comes in, 8-meter circle, and whistle blows before the shot could be taken. And Orono's going to get the free start on the 12-meter mark. They try to converge off of the goalpost. Rebound comes out right to the Spartans. Just under 2 minutes left to go in quarter number 1. Spartans try to spin it around and get past the defense, but had to bring it back out to the top. And they'll play a little catch up there, slow things down. And here comes an isolation play. They cut through the middle, try to shot from in between the 12 and 8-meter mark. Usually you see them get inside the 8-meter mark because they can consider that sometimes a dangerous shot, depends on who's in the way. Not in this case, so they'll get a free start from the 12-meter mark. Orono goes in, and they go up high again on Iverson, and that's a 5-3 Orono lead. Looks like they found their formula for success is to go up high on Iverson. On the 12-meter shot here, you can see 1, 2, 3 steps in, cocks the arm, and flings it up high past stick side on Iverson. 2-goal lead, 1:17 left to go in quarter number 1. Dunn back to the face-off circle. Kudla and Dunn will switch spots with the 2-goal lead. Dunn throws it up in the air. She hops, deflects it down low. Ball on the turf. And they're going to give that one to Maple Grove Crimson. That's going to be picked up by Kennedy. Kennedy's going to throw it into the middle of the field for Kudla. Kudla's going to attack down low. Stops at the top of the arc. Pressured there by Orono and gets it over to Van Wyk. Van Wyk feeds it to Dunn. Dunn turns, spins, loops back around, goes out, and now back inside. Good defense there by Orono to force Dunn back out to the top of the arc. She feeds it over to Van Wyk. Van Wyk with a few side steps to her left. Now travels back to the right, throws it inside, was looking for Kudla, who was cutting through the middle of the field. Couldn't connect on the pass, but it's picked up by Isaacson. Isaacson went to take a shot, and it just fell right out of her basket onto the field, and it's picked up by Orono, who has some open green towards the Maple Grove zone. They cross the 30-yard line, and here they come to the middle of the field, fling one from way outside, sidearm shot by Orono went wide, and they're going to give that one to the Maple Grove Crimson. Sandberg's going to pick it up. She'll feed it to Iverson in the net. Iverson has it. Now they're going to give it back to Orono. Referee is saying Sandberg wasn't in bounds when she threw it to the goalie, but she was. And that's going to be into the first quarter. 5-3 Orono lead after quarter number 1. We'll be right back after this short intermission for quarter number 2. Stick with us. This one's exciting.
And now we begin our second quarter.
We are back for quarter number 2. Orono with a 5-3 lead after the first quarter of play. 12 minutes on the clock. Maple Grove going from our left to right for quarter number 2. Wearing the white home jerseys again. Orono in the red, trimmed out in white numbers. Dunn in the middle of the circle at the Maple Grove logo, taking on the draw for the Crimson. Ball up in the air, right into the basket of number 39, Izzy Beal. And she flips it over to Paulson. That's Nick, number 32. Orono has possession of the ball. They're on the near side of the field. That's Emma Roach and Anna Bowerly playing defense. They switch spots. They throw it behind the net. Couldn't connect on that one. Looked like the ball went out of bounds, and they're going to give it to the Crimson. Stepped on the out-of-bounds line, so Sandberg will pick it up. Sandberg around the outside. She's going to run down the field. She tries to get it to Van Wyk. Van Wyk with a little basket catch, dropped it on the turf, but was able to pick it up. She spins out of 3 defender and is able to clear it out to Isaacson. Isaacson can't pick it up off the pass, down on the turf, gets pushed aside, throws a little elbow, and see what happens here, and they're going to give it to Maple Grove. Isaacson's going to pick up the ball at the 40-yard line. Isaacson over to Bowerly. Bowerly's going to run. She's got some open green field. Cuts to her right, down the right side, near side of the field. She's at the 10-yard mark. Throws it behind the net to Lily Iverson. Dunn's going to come back there to help out along with Kudla. They're going to set up 3 back behind the net. They look for the cutter. That was Sukup cutting across. Now they give it to Dunn. Dunn back behind the net. Try to go far side, fake back behind the net, and comes out to the far side post. She tries to dip down and get by the defender, throws it down low, and Dunn with a goal to bring the Crimson within 1. Wellhouse Chiropractic replay of the game. Watch Dunn. She comes around the corner, fakes like she's going to spin back to her right, comes back the other way, and throws it down low past the goaltender for her first goal of the night. See the goalie there try to get the stick down in center of the 5-hole, but couldn't get there quite in time. And here we go. Draw at center field. Right into the basket of Kudla on this one. She feeds it back to Van Wyk. They look like they were headed the wrong direction. Took Van Wyk a second there to figure out which way she was going. Now headed down the right way towards the Orono zone and feeds it down low to Iverson. Iverson back behind the goaltender, along with Isaacson and Kudla. Iverson to Isaacson. Isaacson has it, feeds it back to Iverson. Iverson tried to curl around the 8-meter mark, but forced back to the outside, so has to feed it up top to Van Wyk. Van Wyk to Kennedy. She's got to be careful there, not get too close to that 30-yard line, otherwise the defenders there can stick the sticks out and knock it out. Kennedy has it, feeds it to Dunn. Dunn fakes to the middle, forced back to the outside, spins to her left. Good defense there by Orono to force Dunn back out to the top. Fed down low, little stick contact there on the pass, but Kudla was able to pick it up off the turf. Kudla feeds it down back behind the net. That's Iverson over on the far side. Drops it off for Van Wyk. Van Wyk up to Isaacson. Isaacson over to Sukup. Sukup with a couple of side steps to her right. Feeds it down to Kennedy. Kennedy has it with a little skip. And she's right behind the net. Tried to come out front looking for a cutter. Couldn't connect on that one, but here comes Kennedy around and tried to go far side, but shot it wide. Kudla's back there, so she's going to pick up the ball. She was the closest to it when it went out of bounds. So Maple Grove will retain possession with 8.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Down by a goal. Here comes Kudla. She's going to feed it to Dunn. Dunn runs around the top of the arc. Back down low to Van Wyk. Van Wyk goes left, back right, tries to cut in, forced into the goal circle, can't go in there, it's a turnover, so she had to quickly stop. Now feeds it to the middle. Crimson there, but they're forced back up top to Isaacson. Isaacson feeds it back to Dunn. Dunn to her right, to her left, back to the right, throws one towards the net, but that went wide right, and they're going to give that one to Maple Grove. Iverson back behind the net. She'll pick up the loose ball, and she'll start from behind the net. Tries to cut through 2 defenders, forced back to the outside, back pass to Kudla. Kudla fakes the pass to Isaacson, knocked out of her stick down on the turf, but she's able to retain possession. Finally, the whistle and illegal stick contact there by Orono will give the ball back to Kudla and a free start. Kudla goes behind the net. That's Hannah Johnson over there. Or no, sorry. That's Kennedy. Kennedy's going to ring it around the top, feed it to Iverson. Iverson's going to drop it to Isaacson. Isaacson to her right, back to the left for Kennedy. Over to Iverson. Little fake pass dropped off the turf, picked up by Iverson, now dropped to Isaacson. Isaacson tries to get around the right, feeds it to Van Wyk. Van Wyk to the middle, throws one towards the net, and a save by the goaltender. 6.5 minutes left to go in the half. Maple Grove down by 1, shot towards the goalie, and goaltender's looking for the clear. Dunn tries to get the stick on there and finally just shuffles it back behind the net, and the defense for Orono is going to run it up the field. They're on the near side. Now she turns on the Jets, picks up a little speed across the 50, throws it down low to number 7. That's Teal. Teal has it. She tries to feed it inside, can't connect on the pass. Intercepted and picked up by Sandberg. Sandberg's got some open green field. She's going to throw it up forward to Iverson. Iverson's going to run down the far side, stops at the 20-yard mark to set up, slows things down. Dunn cuts through the middle. She was open for a quick second, but Iverson didn't see her, so goes up top to Van Wyk. Top of the circle, Van Wyk. Over to Kudla. Van Wyk sets the pick. Kudla goes to her left. Goes down, tries to bounce one in. It went up over the goaltender, and it's picked up by Maple Grove. Sukup comes around. She fires one, saved by the goaltender. Rebound comes out, goes past, and Isaacson's going to be there to pick it up for the Maple Grove Crimson. She'll start from the out-of-bounds line back behind the net. A couple of shot opportunities by Maple Grove. Weren't able to capitalize, but still have possession of the ball with just over 5 minutes left to go in half number 1. Now it's to Sukup. Sukup back to Isaacson. Isaacson on the far side, drops it back. Sukup goes to her left, back to her right, protects the ball. Back behind her, forced back behind the net. Over to Dunn. Dunn's going to go to her left, spins back to the right, now back to the left, cut off there by a couple of defenders. No whistle, late whistle, and they're going to give it to Dunn, who's going to get a free start from the 12-meter mark. Dunn has this one. One, two, three, four, 5 steps. Dunn, backhand, tried to get it down low. We've seen her do that one before, the little backhand shot, but wasn't able to connect on that one. Maple Grove still in possession of the ball. Here comes Sukup. Sukup comes around, cuts through 2 defenders, gets body checked, and they're going to give the ball to Sukup, and she'll get a free start from the 12-meter mark. Taylor Sukup, number 22. See if we can't capitalize here on the free shot from the 12-meter mark. Whistle blows. Here comes Sukup, rings it up, try to go upper corner over the stick side shoulder of the goaltender. Goalie made the save, tried to clear it out, but Kudla stepped in to pick that one off and throws it down to Isaacson. Isaacson has it behind the net. She's pressured by the Orono defender and forced back. Now she gets it to Kudla. Kudla's going to try and wrap around, feeds it in to Van Wyk, who throws it in. Kudla on the assist, Van Wyk on the goal. That's her second of the night and ties things up 5-5 with 3:13 left to go in the half. Nice feed there by Kudla to Van Wyk. Van Wyk with a little skipper off the turf down low, raises her stick and hands as beat the goaltender to tie this one up. Watch Kudla here on the Wellhouse Chiropractic replay. Hesitates for a moment, gets it to Van Wyk. Van Wyk with a great job getting her stick out far, extended to pick up the ball, and then also the wherewithal to get the shot off down low and ties things up with 3:13 left to go in the half. Dunn's going to take the draw. Midfield, 50-yard line, Maple Grove logo. Ball up in the air, bounces once off the turf, and it's going to be picked up by the Spartans. Spartans will head down towards the Maple Grove end across the 30. Once they get around there, they get a little ease up on the pressure and can slow things down a little bit at the top of the arc. Orono moves it around the top of the circle. Switch positions. Little confusion there by the Crimson on who's covering who, but they were able to get back and play. Try to get a turnover there. Nice job by Johnson. Got the stick check in there, but they're going to blow the whistle. Thought that was a fantastic job by Johnson, getting the stick in there and knocking it out of the basket, but referee doesn't see the game the same way I do. He may actually know the rules. 5-5, free start. Up high again on Iverson. They found the formula for success. All of their goals have been up high, shoulder height, and able to get that one past Iverson on the free start. That was number 2, Alex Paulson, went up high just under the crossbar. Nice shot by Paulson to put the Orono Spartans up by 1. .2:15 left in the first half. We have a substitution. Sukup is going to come out while Seth goes in. She'll take the attack position. Dunn at the face-off circle, gets it over off the turf towards Kudla. Kudla is able to scoop it up off of the surface of the field. Forced into the defense, has to dump it off to Van Wyk. Van Wyk gets pressured towards the 30-yard line, but is able to escape with possession of the ball. Van Wyk tries to duck, stick checked out of her pouch, and it's picked up by the Spartans, who will head down across the 50. Spartans have it, just 1:40 left to go in half number 1. Orono's up by 1 goal, 6-5. We are at Maple Grove Athletic Complex. Both teams 8-2, so big game here for both clubs. Orono's up top. We're going to slow it down, probably look for the last shot of the half, not really want to giving an extra possession to Maple Grove, being up by 1 goal already. So they're just going to move the ball around on the outside of the circle probably until about the 30-second mark, and then they'll start to set up a play, look for a shot with about 10 seconds left to go. They try to force it inside unless they do something like that and get a free shot from the 12-meter mark. Here comes Orono. Couple of steps in, able to get by all the defenders, but Iverson's able to stick the stick up there and make the save. Iverson feeds it over to Sandberg on the clear. Sandberg pops it up, looks at the referee, thought she got hit in the head, and finally is able to clear it out and get it up the field. 30 seconds left for Maple Grove. If they can get a last shot here, maybe tie this one up going into the half, and here comes Iverson. Iverson comes all the way down, stops, turns, looks for a cutter. Kennedy all alone in front of the net, throws it in, she scores! Kennedy on the goal. Nice feed by Iverson to get it to a wide open Kennedy. Kennedy, the back cutter, second cutter in. Iverson's able to pick her up with the peripheral vision, gives it to Kennedy, and Kennedy throws it right side inside the post, ties this one up 6-6 with 20 seconds left to go and half number 1. That's Kennedy's first goal of the night. Great play by the Crimson. We were talking about maybe Orono playing for the last shot, but they decided to try and move in. They got a free shot, but Iverson made a great save, which allowed her to clear the ball to Sandberg. Sandberg quickly got it up the field, and it was given to Iverson. Iverson brought it all the way down the far side, was able to find Kennedy all alone in front of the net, and Kennedy knows what to do with it once she gets it that close, and wide open shot, threw it past the goaltender to tie this one up. Here's another chance, 20 seconds left, and Maple Grove has possession. It's Kudla with it. Kudla comes down. She's forced to the outside, feeds it back up to Van Wyk. Just 12 seconds. Now it's 10. Van Wyk's going to have to do something quick here. He's going to want to get a shot off. Feeds it inside. Nice job there, and they score! Iverson on the goal with the hat trick. 4 seconds left to go in the half, and Iverson takes a 1-goal lead for the Crimson. They were just down by 1. 2-goal swing with 30 seconds left, and now they're up by 1 going into halftime unless something happens with 4 seconds left to go in quarter number 2. Lillian Iverson with her 3rd goal of the night. Van Wyk has 2, Dunn with 1, and Kennedy with 1. That's our scoring recap for your goal scorers of the first half. Just 4 seconds left. Don't think anything's going to happen here. Just a quick face-off. Don't think anybody can get down and shoot in 4 seconds, but hey, we've seen some crazier things, so let's watch this and see what happens. Ball up in the air down towards the Orono side. They're just going to kind of let the clock run out, and there's the whistle for halftime. 7-6 Maple Grove Crimson lead after the first half. We're going to have a short intermission. This is Jay Sandberg bringing you today's broadcast from Maple Grove Athletic Complex at the high school, where the Maple Grove Crimson are taking on the Orono Spartans. They come out of the first half with a 1-goal lead, 7-6. We'll be right back after this short intermission, so stick with us for half number 2.
Your Crimson lead the Orono Spartans 7-6. A recap of the scores tonight. For your Crimson, scoring 3 goals, Lily Iverson. 2 goals, Sosie Van Wyk. 1 goal each, Riley Dunn and Ava Kennedy. For the Spartans, 2 goals for Alex Paulson and 1 goal for Riley Teal, Lily Nick, and Dylan Collins. Enjoy your halftime. Thank you to our sponsors, Lotus, and the Lookout. It's a cold, wet, rainy night. But we have warmth in our hearts for our girls of the Crimson Lacrosse. Please cheer them on as they come back to your field.
We are back for quarter number 3, second half about to get kicked off and underway. Done at the face-off circle. She'll take the draw at the Maple Grove logo. Maple Grove going from our right to left for quarter number 3. They come out of halftime with a 1-goal lead up over the Orono Spartans, 7-6. Spartans control the draw. They bring it in and go down low. Back behind the goaltender are the Spartans. They swing it around to the far side. Now they move it up to the top of the circle. Kudla was looking for a little sniper attack. Snuck in there, tried to pick that one off, but Orono saw her coming in and was able to hold up the pass. Now forced back to the outside by Kudla. Good defense there by your Maple Grove Crimson. They try to set the pick, feed it over, and a shot from outside the 8-meter mark past Iverson. And Orono quickly ties this one up just 40 seconds into the second half. 7-7, quarter number 3, 11:20 left to go. Wellhouse Chiropractic, again, bringing all of our replays today. They are in-game sponsor. Far side corner, cutting across the field and threw it back to the opposite direction. Iverson looks a little defeated there, is not sure she was quite ready for that shot coming from so far out, because typically they see it a little bit closer. But goaltenders got to be ready all the time. You never know when those shots are going to come from inside that 12-meter mark. Now it's Orono who has possession again there. Bring it down the near side of the field. Probably try the same play they just went since they had success, and they do. They bring it down low. They set up shop. Watch for the cutter to come through. Here comes the second one. They feed it in and score. Just as easy as that. The same play they just ran, and Maple Grove couldn't shut it down.
Number 6, Riley Teal.
That's a goal by Riley Teal, number 7. And puts Orono up by a goal. 8-7 lead for your Spartans. Maple Grove's going to have to figure out how to get some bodies in front of the cutters going in. They're making it a little bit too easy for Orono as they scored 2 goals in less than a minute. Here's Kudla off the draw. She has possession. Flicks it back to Dostal. And she took a bump. Tries to feed it up to the far side of the field, but threw it right into the basket of the Orono Spartans, who cuts across and come in and score. 9-7, 2-goal lead now for Orono with 10:37 left to go in quarter number 3. No defense there. It went up high, far side, upper corner are the Spartans. That's number 17, Elise Sween, with the goal for the Orono team. Dostal comes out. Johnson goes in. Replace that defense. Got Bowerly, Sandberg, Johnson, and Roach back for the Maple Grove Crimson. Middies, you got Dunn taking the draw with Kudla and Van Wyk outside the circles. And the attacks, you got Isaacson, Kennedy, Iverson, and Walseth. Maple Grove in control off the draw. That's Kudla on the far side of the field. She gets pressured by Orono, feeds it back behind the net is Dunn. Dunn wheels around to the near side, cuts into her left, forced back out by 2 defenders. Still is able to get around, was looking to take a shot. No whistle there as Dunn keeps ducking, and finally the referee is going to blow the whistle as she took a couple of sticks to the ribs. And no whistle, finally, is going to get the free shot from the 12-meter mark. Dunn's going to set up. She's ready to go. Takes about 3-4 steps in. Forced to the middle. Back to the outside. Gets around everybody. Throws it down low and scores to bring the Crimson back within one with just under 10 minutes left to go. That's Dunn's second goal of the night. Watch the replay here. All done. Just attacked by 4 defenders to her right-hand side. Spins it around back to the opposite side and is able to throw it down low past the goaltender. Back to the draw. Referee places the ball into the baskets. Sets it up, backs out, blows the whistle, and here we go. Flung towards Kudla, but Kudla just couldn't control it off of the draw, and possession goes to the Spartans. Spartans at the top of the arc. They slow things down with a 1-goal lead. Looking to ISO. Goes in, down on the turf, but is able to get it back out to number 32, Layla Nick. Nick feeds it across. Pass down on the turf, but it's picked up by the Spartans, and they're going to go back down low. Little escape pass there, and here come the Spartans. They try to get to the near side. They feed it out. Bounces off, and Iverson with the save there. And we're going to get some sort of yellow card. Let's see who this one's on. As I didn't see anybody over there, but looks like dangerous follow-through on the Spartans is going to give the ball to Maple Grove, even though Iverson made the save. Didn't really matter. Iverson has possession of the ball, but the Spartan player will go to the sidelines and think about that one for a 2-minute penalty. Dangerous follow-through on the stick there. Referee called that one, and now whistle blows, and Roach has it. Roach goes around the outside, feeds it to Johnson. Johnson tries to run up the field. She gets cut off and forced back to the 30, cuts through a couple of defenders, is able to run down the sidelines. Knocked off of her stick, and they're going to give it out of bounds to the Spartans. Spartans have possession. They cut across the 30, knocked off of the stick, but they were off sides as Isaacs is, so she can't pursue that one and has to get back to the 30, or whistle would have blown anyways. 4 people have to stay back on the left side of the 30-yard line. Here come the Spartans to the middle of the field, forced back to the hash marks. From behind, nice play there by Maple Grove to knock it out of the stick was Kudla, but couldn't get possession of it, and Orono still has it. Cross-checked into the sidelines. Kudla with a nice play, now picked up by Van Wyk. Back to Kudla. Kudla's going to shadow. Aggressive defensive play there as they double team with the extra attacker out on the field. Van Wyk's over there along with Sandberg. Orono's running around trying to waste time. Bowerly's over there. She'll bump bodies, knocks it down on the turf along with Sandberg and Bowerly. They'll kick it free. They get it to Van Wyk. Van Wyk feeds it to Iverson in the goal crease. Great job there by Maple Grove to put the pressure on, up by 1 player so they can double team. The ball handler did a great job with it, and Iverson now clears it out to Bowerly. Bowerly's going to hustle down the sideline. She's taken on by 3 Orono players. She feeds it back. Now it's up to the middle of the field. That's Roach who has it. Roach is going to go around the sidelines. Whistle blows. Roach keeps going, feeds it over to Kennedy. Kennedy has it on the far side of the field. She's going to bring it down. She takes a stick check to the ribs, but is able to get around her defender. Tries to cut to the middle. Tries to feed it to Van Wyk. Van Wyk had to try an awkward catch there. She had her hands twisted on the pass from Kennedy, kind of handcuffed her. Ball's down on the turf. Now finally comes out of the scrum, and it's picked up by Iverson. Iverson back behind the net. Dostal's going to go in for Bowerly. Defensive substitution there on the fly as Bowerly had to come out of the game and take a little bit of a rest. Dunn has it, feeds it up to Isaacson. Isaacson with a stutter step towards the 8-meter mark, forced back out to the top of the arc, throws an elbow into the girl's face. I'm going to guess Iverson's going to probably go to the box, but Referee may not call that one as the Orono player got the stick up towards the head of Isaacson. Isaacson threw an elbow to the face, but referee didn't call that one, so Isaacson's going to keep possession at the top arc of the circle. She'll get the free shot, dips her shoulder down, comes across to the middle, drops it off now for Van Wyk. Van Wyk on the near side hash line. Setting the pick is Kudla. Van Wyk travels to her right, back to her left, switches hands, back to her right hand, and feeds it up now to Dunn. Dunn to the middle of the field. She feeds it down low, looking for Kennedy, who was cutting across. Ball got away from Kennedy, but picked up by Isaacson behind the net. Isaacson drops it off for Kudla. Kudla cuts to the inside, spins, turns, back around to her right, tries to curl it into the middle, but couldn't get by the defender, and so they're going to have to reset this one up. Now it's Kudla. She's going to take it on a different defender, force back to the top of the arc, and feeds it to Dunn. Dunn goes right, left, back to her right, spins, goes down low, and scores. 5-hole to tie this one up. Riley Dunn with her third goal of the night, and puts the Crimson in a tie with the Orono Spartans, 9-9 with 5:20 left to go in quarter number 3. Great job by Dunn to get that one down low. She scored all 3 of her goals on a low shot. Goaltender just can't seem to get the stick and the basket down close enough to the turf, and watch this one go right through the 5-hole on Dunn with a beautiful shot just inside the 8-meter mark. And we're going to get a timeout here on the field. They'll talk about this one. We got a game here, 9-9 with 5:20 left to go in quarter number 3. We'll be right back after this quick timeout.
Where else would you rather be than right here, right now, cheering on your girls, Crimson Lacrosse.
All right, back after the timeout, 5:20 left to go, 9-9 game, tied up. Quarter number 3, Iverson back in the net. She's got her shiny red helmet on between the pipes. On defense is Sandberg, Johnson, Roach, Dostal. Dunn's going to take the draw at the Maple Grove logo, along with Van Wyk and Kudla. Over the head of Kudla, and the Spartans are going to pick that one up. Stick check there by Kudla, try to force her towards the sidelines. Shadows her, gives her a big horizontal cross check, so Orono will start on the whistle with a free start. They bring it towards the field, throw it outside. Couple of moves they try and get by Dostal, but Dostal with the stick check was able to knock it out of the basket. Dunn picked it up, but comes around. Now Isaacson tries to get it out. She's way offside, no call there. And finally the whistle blows as Isaacson was way offside, tried to stick check number 39, Beal. And the whistle blows, so Orono will get the free start at the top of the arc. Now they're down to the far side. They'll move it around up towards the top, all the way across near side. Back down low behind the net. That's Johnson covering the post over there. Sorry, that's Dostal covering the near side post. Now it's back to the outside. Thrown towards the middle. Lost possession, and they're going to call Maple Grove on a stick check. Didn't see that one. It looked like Orono just dropped the ball, but referee blows the whistle, gives it back to Orono with 4 minutes left to go. Not the start Orono was looking for, so referee's going to give him another free start. Tries to cut through the middle, forced back to the outside, threw it up high. Spartans are able to corral that one and bring it back down and still have possession at the top of the arc. They go left, right by Van Wyk, throw it down low and get it by Iverson and take a 1-goal lead are the Spartans. Couple of Sutter steps, they get by 2 defenders, brings it to the middle in between the 8-meter mark and the goal crease, threw it down low. Iverson have seen all the shots up high, so no surprise. She probably wasn't expecting the low shot. Nonetheless, that's number 32 for the Spartans, Layla Nick, on the goal, down low, past Iverson, short side, and puts the Spartans up by a goal, 10-9, with 3:35 left to go in quarter number 3. Dunn sets up, tenses up for the draw, throws it up. Kudla tried to get her stick in there, but again picked up by the Spartans. Spartans have it. Whistle blows. They feed it to the center of the field. Maple Grove right there. 3 players couldn't pick it up. Now Iverson tried to get it. They're going to give it to the Spartans. Spartans down the near side sidelines. A couple players offsides again, so they have to back off. Whistle blows. And Spartans have it. They're going to slow it down. Just over 3 minutes left to go in quarter number 3. Back up to the top of the arc. They go to the far side hash. Looking for an ISO play. They fake left, go right, force back to the outside. So they bring it back up top, set it up, and we'll move it around towards the bottom 10-yard mark. Now it's back behind the goaltender. Back behind the goalie are the Spartans. Shadowed there by Johnson, forced to the outside. Dostal and Johnson there. Dostal all over her. Good defense there by Dostal, forcing the back. Now it's one-on-one isolation play. They try a bounce shot off of the turf, but Iverson's able to corral that one, pick it up, and Iverson with the save. Iverson looking for the clear. Turnover there by Iverson, but Sandberg saves it. Gets it back to Iverson, who clears it out. Now gets it up to Maple Grove. Far outside shot. Looks like that's Sukup who has it. She's going to feed it over to Dunn. Dunn couldn't catch that one in the basket, but picks it up off the turf and retains possession. Now they're back behind the net. Dunn has it. She's going to make her way to the near side post. Force back, couple of back pedals. Out up the hash marks, across the 10. Goes right, spins back left. Calling out a play. Tries to duck through 2 defenders. Spins around to her right. Comes all the way to the 8-meter mark. All the way to the far side. Nothing there for Dunn. Still has it, though, at the top of the circle. Finally drops it off to Van Wyk. Van Wyk's going to go to her right. She tries to curl around. Looking for a shot, cut off there nicely by the Spartans and forced back to the outside. Now it was Kennedy cutting across, had a nice cut. Van Wyk hit her on the pass, but Kennedy couldn't hold on to it and turns it over to the Spartans, who are now headed downfield into Maple Grove territory. To the right of Dostal. Shot goes way up high, just outside the 12-meter mark, through an upper corner shot to put Orono up by 2 goals. Watch this one as Orono comes down the Wellhouse Chiropractic replay, just inside the 12-meter mark, 1 step on the 8-meter mark yellow line, threw one up high to the right of Iverson, upper corner, where Fullness keeps his vodka. 55 seconds left to go in quarter number 3. Face off there, we're going to get an illegal start there by Maple Grove, which is going to give Orono the ball. They have a 2-goal lead, under a minute left to go here in quarter number 3. Orono's going to slow it down, looking for the last shot here. We saw what happened last half at the end of the quarter, but here they come, and they're going to get by the defense. Cut goes in right in the middle of the field. Pass goes over, and Orono with a quick 3-goal lead with just 19 seconds left in quarter number 3. And Maple Grove will talk about this one.
Scoring for number 38, Dylan Collins. Assist by number 2.
That was Collins on the goal. Went up high over Iverson's left shoulder. Not too happy with that one as she threw the stick onto the turf. Bounced it off the defense. We'll talk about this one. How can they control that? Cutter from getting in. They got some speed once they get down close to the net with the ball and the cutters. They're able to get around the defense for the Maple Grove Crimson, just using a little bit of speed and some curls, and that back cutter has been the problem all day long for Maple Grove, and then they've been going upper deck on Iverson, who hasn't seemed to be able to get the stick up in time to make the saves. Just 12 seconds left to go. Orono back down. They need to stop here. Can't let them get another goal and go up by 4. Couple of seconds left. Ball is on the turf. Here we go. 8-meter mark. They feed it to the middle. Try to go in. And that's going to be the buzzer for quarter number 3. We'll get a brief intermission here. Be back for quarter number 4. Orono with a 3-goal lead over the Crimson, 12-9 here at Maple Grove Athletic Complex High School Field. We'll be right back after this short intermission for the end of this one. Stick with us. Going to be a good one.
We have 12 minutes to bring this home, ladies. You can do it.
Here we go. Quarter number 4 at the end of this one. 12 minutes left to go. 12-9 Orono Spartan lead. Maple Grove is going to be going from our left to right for quarter number 4. They're going to need to get a quick face-off draw here, possession, and get back within 2 if they want a chance to tie this one up and get back in the lead. Draw is going to go to Orono, though, instead, and they're going to come down. Big defensive stand here for Maple Grove as they can't let Orono go up by 4 goals. Tied their biggest lead of the night with the 3-goal lead are the Spartans. They back it out up to the top. Down low, they try and curl around. Now it's back behind the net. Sandberg over to cut that one off on the far side post. Nobody there for Maple Grove on the near side post. They bring it in, try and side sling a shot towards Iverson. That went wide left to the goaltender, but it's picked up by the Spartans, and they have possession. Little fake pass there. Tried to pass it, but dropped out of the basket. Nobody there for Maple Grove, so no pressure put on Orono back behind the net. Johnson on the near side post, Sandberg on the far side post. Now it's back to the outside. Back up top are the Spartans. They set the pick on Kudla. They fake left, go right, back left. That's number 7, Teal. Now it's back to the outside. They're going to double team the ball. Looks like Maple Grove wants to put on a little pressure, see if they can't create a turnover here. Double teaming everyone who catches the ball, and now there's a whistle for illegal stick contact, which will give a free shot at the 12-meter mark. Actually, they're going to swing it all the way back up to the top of the outer arc. Shot goes wide to the goaltender, and that's going to be Maple Grove's ball. Sandberg brings it in, bounds, feeds it over to Iverson. Iverson gets it up to Kudla. Kudla turns, spins, pressured by the Spartans, forced to the outside, now double teamed off of her stick, and that's an illegal stick check there by the Spartans, so the ball will go back to Kudla, who will get the free start from the 20-yard line, near side hash mark. She goes all the way back to Sandberg. Sandberg has it. She's going to feed it far side. Gets it to Iverson. Iverson's going to run it up the field. Gets past a couple of defenders. Now it's Iverson who has some open green in front of her. Got a little bit of space. Cuts towards the middle. Backpedals out of there, and it's the top of the circle. Iverson gets it over to Kennedy. Kennedy switches spots. She goes to her right. Setting the pick is Van Wyk. Kennedy drops it out of her basket. Turnover, and it's picked up by the Spartans. Double team, almost triple team there. Now they feed it back to the defender. They get it up to the 50-yard marker. Now they are definitely in Maple Grove territory as they head towards the middle of the field. That's Teal, number 7. She gets checked out of there with a little body contact, is able to retain the ball, tries a bank shot off the turf, but it's picked up by Iverson. Iverson with a quick clear to Van Wyk. Van Wyk with a little spin move right at the 40 to try and get away from the defender. Feeds it up now to Iverson. Iverson has it. She crosses the 30. Pressured by number 2, Alex Paulson of the Orono Spartans, but now it's into the basket of Jade Isaacson. Isaacson has it. She goes to her right, drops it off for Iverson. Isaacson continues down. Now Iverson back up to the top to Van Wyk. Nope, sorry, that's Kudla. Kudla has it. Goes to her right, spins back to the left, forced back to the outside is Kudla. Steps in, tries to get a little bit of speed, comes around, tries to throw upper deck, was looking for a whistle, finally gets one from the referee, but that's because the ball went out of bounds and it's going to go to Maple Grove. Kudla has to adjust her goggles as Sukup brings it in play. Back behind the net. Feeds it to Isaacson. Isaacson has it behind the net, goes back to Sukup, back to Isaacson. Sukup cuts across the middle. Isaacson didn't see the opening, so throws it back behind the net to Kudla. Kudla to Dunn. Dunn goes in on the cut through, and Kudla hits Dunn. Upper corner for Dunn for her fourth goal of the evening and brings the Crimson within 2. Crimson 10, Orono Spartans 12, 7.5 minutes left to go in the game.
Number 4, the fourth goal. Number 39, Riley. Assist by Hamlet Cuba, her second of the evening.
Big possession here. Let's see if Maple Grove can't get control. Goes up in the air, down, bounces a few sticks, but Crimson aren't able to gather it, and now the Spartans have it towards midfield. They bring it to the center. Cut to the outside hash marks. They're going to back it up and slow it down a little bit. Dunn puts on a little bit of pressure. They double team, so Crimson couldn't cover the cutter, and the cutter was able to grab the pass, goes in and gets it by Iverson, and puts the Spartans up by 3 goals. 13-10 Orono lead. (13-10), 7:08 left to go in fourth quarter. Maple Grove trying to put pressure on Orono, but Orono's been able to escape it. They're putting a double team on the person with the ball, but finding the open player are the Spartans and able to get it by Iverson to put them back up by 3. Ball is down on the turf, picked up by Maple Grove, and that's Van Wyck who gets it to Iverson. Iverson on the outside. Backs her way in, feeds it back out to Van Wyck. Sukup cuts across. Here's Kennedy. Now Dunn. Dunn grabs it inside the 8-meter mark, goes right, back left, back to her right, throws it down low. Goaltender got a piece of that one, and it rebound comes out to the stick of Isaacson. Isaacson feeds it over now to Kudla. Kudla back to Isaacson. Isaacson was looking for the cutter, decided not to throw it into the middle, still has possession of it. She's back up top of the arc. Now cuts down to the 12-meter mark, into the 8-meter mark, forced back to the outside. Still has possession, throws it, was looking for the cutter. That was Sukup, but Orono was able to intercept the pass from Isaacson, and now they have possession on the turnover. Here come the Spartans down the field, 6 minutes left to go in the game. Spartans with the 3-goal lead. Maple Grove is really going to have to put some pressure on, but Spartans have been able to counteract that and find the open player every time they double team the ball handler. Here's another chance for Maple Grove. They put the pressure on up to the center. Now they go down low, turnover there. Ball's on the turf, picked up by Iverson. She came way out of the goal crease. Attacked by 4 players. Finally, the whistle blows, and they're going to give possession to Maple Grove. Here's Iverson. Iverson gets it to Hannah Johnson. Johnson turns, spins, starts to head upfield. She gets caught from behind and tripped. Little turf burn there for Johnson as she went down, but retains possession of the ball. Whistle's going to blow. Referee is going to give her the free start. Johnson heads towards the sidelines, pushed out, stays in, cuts back towards the middle, still has the ball, knocked out of her stick, and turnover by the Spartans. Ball down on the turf, but the Spartans are able to pick it up. They scoop it up into the basket. Cross-check there by Sandberg. Forced back to the outside. Good stick check there by Dunn to knock the ball out of the basket, but it hopped right back in to the Spartans player. Spartans have it. They're at the top of the arc. Cut towards the middle. And not sure what that whistle was for, but let's see what the referee called. 4.5 minutes left to go. 3-goal lead for the Orono Spartans, and they're going to get a free start from the 12-meter mark. Couple of steps in, they throw it upper deck past Iverson. Another goal for Orono, and it's a 4-goal lead, 14-10 Spartans. Timeout on the field. We'll be right back after this quick intermission. 4:17 left to go. Maple Grove down by 4. They're going to have to get a new strategy in place, see if they can't get back in this game rather quickly with just 4:17 left to go. We'll be right back after this quick timeout. Here we go. Maple Grove Athletic Complex at the high school. Under the Friday night lights for a little girls lacrosse, taking on the Orono Spartans. Maple Grove down by 4 with just 4:17 left to go in the game. Dunn's going to take the draw at midfield. Big possession here. Maple Grove needs this one off the draw if they want to get back in this game and have any chance at a victory. Ball up in the air. Kudla with a nice grab there. Didn't even let it bounce in the turf. She was able to kind of bend her back and get her stick way back and scoop that one up. Now she throws to the cutter, but overthrew Isaacson, who was cutting across, and it went right into the goaltender's basket. Now the goalie's looking to clear it out. She's got 2 feet outside of the goal crease. Now pushed aside was Maple Grove's number 16, Kudla. They're going to give the ball to Maple Grove for an illegal check on Kudla with 3:47 left to go. The crowd is trying to tell the referee that was the goalie's penalty, so the goalie should have been the one back behind Kudla, not the defensive player. Weird call by the referee, as that was all goaltender who should be penalized and put behind the goaltender. Now it's the Orono Spartans on the attack, and Iverson went out of the net to try to cover a player. Orono attacker saw the open net and just shot it from the 12-meter mark and scored. Putting up by 5. Iverson thought the attacker was going to the right-hand side, was trying to maybe pick up a pass. But Orono's number 7, Riley Teal, saw that one out of all the way and was able to throw it past the goaltender. Kiki way out of position on that one. Things are turning around here for Maple Grove in not a positive way, as they're down by 5. Orono's biggest lead of the night. Just 3:17 left to go in the game. Dunn takes the draw, bounces off the turf, picked up by the Spartans. They're going to head towards midfield, center of the playing surface. Now they go to the far side, picked up by Kennedy. Kennedy forces him back. Now they're going to double team the ball handler. They knock it out of the basket, but of course referee blows the whistle and gives it right back to the Spartans. Spartans attacker tries to cut through. Nice defensive play there by Van Wyck to knock the stick down. picked up by Dunn. Dunn's going to head towards the near side sidelines, tries to get around the player. Whistle blows as stick to the head on Dunn. No yellow card. Dunn has to switch hands. She's triple teamed. Finally gets it to Kudla, but couldn't really get a clean pass off, and short hop Kudla, who wasn't able to handle it, and it's picked up by the Spartans, who clear it out to midfield. Now they have some open space in front of them, so they're going to carry it down. That's number 11, Lily Logan, with possession on the near side. She'll feed it back up to the top, over to the middle. Hash marks. Back down. Double team there. They get the pass on the turf, but picked up quickly by Orono. Little slippage there. They get by Dunn. Here's number 2. They feed it off. They go up. Just missed the goal, as nice little play, give and go there on the near side shot by number 17. Elisa Sween couldn't connect and shot it up over the goaltender. Now it's back behind the net. And now they're going to give possession to Maple Grove. Hannah Johnson with a good defensive play there. Chucks it hard at Kiki Iverson, who's able to pick it up in the goal crease. Now she's looking for the clear out. Iverson almost caught from behind, didn't see the attacker right behind her, just released it right before the attacker was going to bang her stick and knock it out of the basket, but it's picked up by Lily Iverson. Thrown out of her basket, now it's picked up by the Spartans. Down on the turf, scooped up by number 18, Gabby Stevens. Just a minute left to go in the game, and the Crimson are down by 5. Orono just needs to waste some time here and keep it away from the Crimson. Now they're down in Crimson territory. You think with all the double teaming they've done prior to this, they would continue to do it, but they're just kind of letting Orono skate around. Ball on the turf, whistle, legal stick check there. Going to give it back to Orono. Just 30 seconds left to go in this one. Looks like Maple Grove is going to go to 8-3. Spartans will go to 9-2. Intercepted there by Van Wyk. We get a whistle. They're going to give it back to the Spartans. Don't understand that call whatsoever, as that was a clean drop by the Spartans, and Van Wyk picked it up out of the air. Didn't see any sort of stick check there. From behind, nice play by Isaacson, who got the stick check right on the 30-yard line. Now it's done, and that's going to be a yellow card at the end of the game for the Spartans, but that's going to be it. Maple Grove's going to take the loss. They lose this one by 5. Orono Spartans 15, Maple Grove Crimson 10. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Jay Samberg was bringing it to you from Maple Grove High School Athletic Complex. Hope you enjoyed the show, and have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Please help us out by taking any trash to the bins at the bottom of the stairs. Also, remember Morgan's message. Have a great night.